salary and vacation time. We'll talk about that and more fun Cape Baboon facts as we sketch this little monkey. So let's turn the page and get started. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 5:30 in the morning on a Sunday morning. Can you believe it's Sunday already? Where did the weekend go?
And it's only 55 degrees.
And it's only 55 degrees. Ivy, come get your weather. It's drunken in my yard. It's 5:30 in the morning on a Sunday morning. 5:30 in the morning on Sunday mornings when I like to do a little thing where I pull a toy from the toy box, a random object from the Random Object Randomogrifier, if you will, and I like to draw it and I like to talk about it. And I actually do this every day at 5:30 in the morning, so you may want to set that notification bell so you don't miss any of them. But today's random object is a Cape Baboon. I think it's a Chacma baboon, but it's more commonly referred to as a Cape Baboon. They live in the shoreline of Africa, Mediterranean climate. And they were separated from the other baboons about 5 million years ago as the savanna opened up and cut them off from the rest of the baboons. So they have some pretty distinct features and attitudes. So we're going to talk about that today. They have a bear-like stance because of how bulky they are. Their front end is big and strong and bulky compared to most other primates. And so they have their common name, their scientific name is something like bear walker. I didn't write that down. I was too busy. I was excited. I was too interested in this fact about them working at this one in particular working as a switch operator at the train station. Had an actual job. Got paid a salary, 20 cents a day, and a half a pint of beer every week, half a bottle of beer every week. To be a switch operator.
Joe said they're also bubblegum baboons.
Yeah, because they have that big pink spot on their back end. Yeah, they have this big bright pink spot on their back end, and it changes color based on where they are in their mating cycle. But I'm not sure that's particular to them. I think don't all baboons? Isn't that one of the things that all baboons have? They get that big puffy pouch when they're in estrus, or that big puffy area when they're in estrus. So a guy named James Wide in the 1880s, a guy named James Wide lost his legs in a railroad incident, and he saw a baboon in town that had been trained to push a cart. And so he bought a baboon named Jack, and he trained Jack to push him around town in a chair, a cart, so that he could get around town. And then he trained Jack to help him around the house, to pick up things off the shelf, to go to town and go shopping with him. He trained Jack to do all kinds of stuff, but eventually he trained Jack to do his job at the railroad. and Jack was operating the switches at the railhead, and a passenger noticed it and told the train officials that a baboon was running their switches. And so the train company sends somebody out to investigate, and Jack is there running the switches, and everybody says, "Oh yeah, Jack's been doing it for a while now." And it's like, you can't let a baboon run the switches. And they say, "Why? He's doing a great job." And so they give the baboon a test. They give Jack a test to see, it's got fake switches and dummy lights and stuff set up, and Jack's supposed to distinguish between which one's the right one, which one's the fake one. And Jack passed the test. He passed the operator's test that all operators have to take. Jack passed the operator's test, and so they put him on salary. 20 cents a day and half a bottle of beer a week. Jack retired from the railroad.
I bet he liked that kind of beer better than the 20 cents.
I mean, he's got to buy his food. Somebody has to buy his food.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, once I went down the rabbit hole of learning that story, I quit paying attention to most of the other facts, like the scientific name and the taxonomy and the relationships. Excuse me, and the relationships. I really quit paying attention to all the rest of that once I
it's fun to have a fun story.
Got locked into the Jack story. I think that'd make a neat after school special. I don't think you can make a movie out of it, but I think you could make an after school special out of it. They don't have after school specials like that anymore, but
what is that show by, is it Mike Rowe?
Dirty Jobs?
Yeah, where he tells a story about somebody famous, and then at the end he tells you who it is.
Was that Mike Rowe? That's not Dirty Jobs.
No, he did Dirty Jobs, but he has another show.
I have no idea.
And that's the way he hears it. And he tells a story about somebody famous. That would be a good story for him.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it would have been a good story for Paul Harvey too.
Paul Harvey would have done a really good job with that story. Yeah, I miss Paul Harvey. He was a great storyteller. I wonder if you can buy Paul Harvey tapes, recordings. They don't call them tapes anymore. Like you could buy the old baseball games and stuff.
Yes, you can.
Did you look that up just now?
Yeah, I did. Paul Harvey collection.
That would be fun to listen to.
so my fingers work in the mornings and I can look things up.
My fingers rarely work in the morning. Tell you what, let's go ahead and add in some texture here while we're at it. So these things are 45 inches long. They're one of the largest primates. They're one of the largest monkeys. Let's rephrase that. And they're 45 inches long, about 97 pounds. 45 inches is about 3 deep sea isopods, for reference. So I mean they're pretty good size. They're not spider monkeys for sure. They're pretty good sized monkeys, and they are monkeys. You can the main difference between monkeys and apes. The two main differences between monkeys and apes is one, monkeys still have a tail, and the shape of the chest. A monkey's chest is this way, where their limbs grow forward like a dog's, where an ape's chest is this way, where their limbs come out the side like a person's. And so if you're ever looking at a primate and you're ever wondering, a lemur for instance, if you're ever looking at a primate and you're wondering, is this an ape or a monkey? The two main questions are the shape of its chest and whether or not it has a tail. Then you can dive into the more important things like, does he tip his waiter? Is he nice to his mother? Is he good with children? They are pack animals. And they have troop animals is a better word for it. They have troops, and they have alpha males that come in and take over and try to manage all the breeding. And when an alpha male comes and takes over, he'll try that infanticide thing where he kills off all of the nursing infants, not all of the juveniles, but all of the nursing infants, because once the mothers stop nursing, they will go into estrus, and they will be ready to mate again. And so he's not killing off all of the. I always thought they were killing off all of their predecessors' offspring, so that their offspring would take over the troop. That's how they've always expressed it to me, that the infanticide was because they were trying to make sure that their genetic dominance is what got spread to the next generation. That is how it was always expressed to me. But they don't kill the juveniles that are not nursing. They only kill the nursing juveniles, and that's specifically so that the mothers will go back into heat, so they can mate immediately. And I was last week old when that clicked for me. Because it had never been expressed to me that way before. It had always been like all the nature shows always just expressed it as when he takes over the troop, he will kill all of the living offspring. And it turns out they don't kill all the living offspring. That's just drama for television. This is my favorite part of the process, by the way. This is the part of the process that turns it from a bunch of lines into a dimensional drawing and gives it shape and form. I may never have told you that, but I feel like we're close enough now. I can share that with you in confidence. But yeah, it was always expressed to me that they came in and killed all the previous juveniles so that their genes could take over, and that's not the case. They were trying to get the ladies ready for mating, and that was the fastest way to do it. Baboon females, these baboon females, I don't know if it's true for all baboon females. These baboon females live in kind of a matriarchal society, and the dominant female position is hereditary. And so the queen, if you will, when her baby girl is born, she has higher status than the lower ranking females immediately at birth. And it stays that way for generations. And alpha males can come and go. And the alpha males show up, and they may only be alpha for a year. It may be just a matter of days or weeks that they remain the alpha. Somebody else come knock them off that platform right off the bat. But the females stay in charge for generations. And the females will have multiple male friends. He's just a friend. You don't have to worry about him. They'll have multiple male friends, so that when an alpha male takes over, he can't be sure that the offspring that are nursing are not his offspring. So he may or may not kill them all. Let me dry this real quick and we'll move on to some color. Joe popped in earlier and said that he was going to have a son in the background, that he wasn't going to be able to stay, but I see that he commented. He's the one that mentioned the bubblegum butt. And we've got Ivy with us this morning. Good morning, Ivy. She sets her alarm to join us on Sundays. And Rick and Pamela are back from Guyman days. Pamela says she still has guests, but she couldn't stand it anymore. She missed us, and we missed you too, Pamela. I'm glad to see you. Guyman days is that's the rodeo, isn't it?
Ivy's doing a mermaid this morning. She didn't have a baboon.
Didn't have a baboon. I'm gonna have to fix that for you. Let me get this vermilion down, and then I'll show you something. I'll show it to you while I'm drying. You guys can just chat about it while I'm drying a layer. I'm adding the vermilion to warm it up, and because Pamela's here. Same way I dry a little bit longer when Ivy's here, so she can be here for the paint drying, and I dance a little bit longer when Claudia's here, so she can be here for the dancing. Hey, Lilu. Let's come in with a little yellow ochre. On top of the vermilion. To give it a little bit of blonde look. And then I think I'll go with some blue. I'll come back with just a little bit of Prussian blue. Just a little bit, really light amount of Prussian blue. Yeah, that was a good idea. Don't overdo it though. You'll make him green. It's okay if you paint outside the lines, Ivy. Ivy was painting a snake on her YouTubes while she was watching me. She was recording herself painting a snake, and I got so tickled listening to her laugh at my jokes. But she's watercoloring a snake, and I hear her talking. Uh-oh, it's okay if you paint outside the lines. Let me try this real quick. Couldn't really slide that in underneath the hairdryer too well because it was blowing down against my paint. But ooh, look at that's my Jackson's chameleon, and that's the screwdriver that I drew. So we'll have to do something about you not having a baboon. Yeah, that was the best part, Ivy, was you talking back to me on the screen. And we all do it. I know when I'm watching you, I like, oh yeah, then and I'll say my whole response and realize you can't hear me. She was talking back to the television. So anyway, these guys are omnivores. Our little baboons here. Little baboons are these guys. Most monkeys anyway eat primarily fruits and nuts and stuff. But these guys eat grass and fruits and nuts and stuff, and mussels off the beach, and antelope, and uh, fungi, and bark, and lizards, and rodents. And they have canine teeth as large as uh, leopard teeth. Their canine teeth are as large as leopard's teeth. And the animals that hunt them have been found hunted and killed themselves. As these guys are quite adept at fighting and using those large canine teeth that they have. They're not endangered, but they're actually considered least concern. They're not endangered, but they are in trouble, mostly because the local populations see them as a pest. The local populations to the local people, these things are stealing their food. And so they consider them a pest, and so they get trapped and killed. But they're not endangered, and therefore they're not in protected status. But maybe if we gave them some more government jobs, the government would run more efficiently. Let me dry this real quick. Pamela said, "I thought that's who had all the government jobs, right?" Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. If only. If only.
Nope, nope.
I don't know. I don't think we're ready for animal justice, though. Have you read Animal Farm? I'm not sure that animal justice is the way to go. switch operator.
It's really amazing.
Making $1 a week, 20 cents a day. $1.40 a week. Probably didn't get a day off. Probably didn't want a day off.
Oh, didn't even know what that meant.
That's the best part about it. He can't even read about the Sabbath. Has no idea that he's supposed to have a day off. Do. I took some liberties with the shape of that tail for sure. Do. I didn't look up how long they live. I have no idea how long they live. Could you look that up for us, Mom?
Yeah. Years in captivity.
45 years.
And in the wild, it's around 30 years.
I wonder how long Jack lived.
Oh, I don't know how to look back.
We named the monkey Jack. I bet if you punched in Jack the Baboon signal operator, I bet there's lots of pages about him.
9 years.
Was only 9 years old. Only lived 9 years.
Oh, he got tuberculosis.
Oh no.
He worked as a railroad signalman from 1877 until his death in 1890, when he succumbed to tuberculosis.
Wow. It is apple fritter day, Pamela. All right, so there is my Cape Baboon compared to the photograph. Let's see what it looks like compared to from my perspective. There it is from my perspective. So that's what I did this morning. Tomorrow, what do we have tomorrow? What could it be? Oh, the suspense. The suspense. Whatever could it be? I hope I grabbed the right egg. Oh! We need Claudia for this one. It's a tulip. Looky there. We'll talk about how tulips are really Persian flowers, not really Dutch flowers, and how in the 1600s, in the 1600s, tulips crashed the Dutch economy. We'll talk about that and more fun tulip facts tomorrow while we sketch this little flower. We actually do this every day at 5:30 in the morning, so you may want to set that notification bell so you don't miss any of them. Yeah, that's going to be a fun time. I'm a little put out at the fact that all of the flowers seem to be that purple color. It's like they had extra purple laying around and they said, yeah, let's just make some flowers. When there are so many, what are there? 27,000 variations of tulips, if not more. Anyway, we'll talk about that tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. Texas time while we sketch that little flower. I could just launch right into it because I love talking about stuff like that. Okay, well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I look forward to this every day. This is my favorite part of the day. It really, truly is the highlight of my day is arting with my besties in the mornings and on Thursday evenings at 7, arting with my besties. absolutely look forward to it every day. Pamela and Rick, thank you for joining us. Joe, Ivy, thank you for joining us. Liluk, thank you for joining us on the vertical side. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I hope everybody gets an apple fritter, because that's what I'm about to do. I'm going to go wake the little girl up, and we're going to go get us an apple fritter. Since the mom and brother are away, the little girl and I are going to go get an apple fritter. So, guys, thank you so much. Be sure and tune in tomorrow. Rick says he's ready to tiptoe through the tulips. Oh gosh, Rick, that's fantastic, man. You caught me off guard with that one. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, same Artistic Biker time, same Artistic Biker channel, and then we dance. We dance until somebody says they see me dancing, because then I will know that the lag has caught up with the stream and I won't get cut off mid-sentence. It means that everybody has a chance to say hello and goodbye to each other and ask any questions of each other that they may have. You get a chance to click the clicky thingies this way if you're on the horizontal, or this way if you're on the vertical, so that you can see another fantastic video just like this. But the most important part of the whole thing is to make sure that